The first dilemma is from Enoch Jared. Hey Jordan, my name is Enoch and I've been your fan since you started YouTube. I appreciate your continued support for me and my channel, Enoch. And my question is, I'm from Ethiopia and from a poor family, and my family wants me to go to college and I don't. I want to have a podcast and it's been my dream since my childhood, and my family doesn't like this. So what should I do? Please, I need answers. Okay, Enoch. So first of all, you share a name with Kendrick Lamar's son, which means that you are destined for greatness by default. Now, in addition to that, you owe it to yourself to follow your dreams. Okay, you owe it to yourself. You are 18 years old, which means that you are officially a grown man. You are old enough to make your own decisions. Now, I understand that your family may not understand that. They may not like that. They may not agree with that. They may even try their very hardest to steer you in the direction that they want you to go in. And you have to understand where they're coming from. Okay, in their minds, you said that you come from a poor family, so they've probably made a lot of sacrifices for you to get a higher education. And for you to reject that, in their eyes, that's you undermining all of the sacrifices that they've made. So you have to think about their perspective and respect it and understand where they're coming from so that you can be compassionate when you choose to follow this podcasting dream that you have. Okay, I'm not telling you that you need to conform to your parents' dreams for you. I'm just saying that you need to be compassionate so that you don't build up that resentment. Because when you build up that resentment, that's where that relationship can really be fractured in a way that it can never truly be repaired. So take that into account, but you have to follow your dreams. Okay, and you have to start following your dreams right now. Right now, literally as you're watching this video. And that applies to anybody who is in a similar position to Enoch. You have to follow your dreams right now. You can't be waiting, okay? When you have that external pressure, you can't wait around. You can't procrastinate on following your dreams. You need to start making your anchor profile, or maybe start your YouTube channel, or just do whatever you need to do whatever research you need to do. Start working to get the equipment that you need in order to make this dream a reality. Okay, if you want to have a podcast, start a podcast. I'm assuming you want to have a successful podcast. You didn't say that, but I'm assuming that that's what you meant by that. But if you just want a podcast, start a podcast right now, okay? Because you're not going to have a successful podcast until you start. So don't let your parents or your friends, your siblings, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, don't let anybody else's opinions deter you from following your intuition and your dreams. I myself was in not that extreme of a situation, but I was once in a situation where people didn't necessarily, or at least the majority of people around me, didn't really see the same vision that I had for YouTube and my channel. And look where I'm at now. Okay, I have a plaque in the background to show you that when you follow your dreams and you choose yourself unapologetically, great things will happen for you in your life. Now, like I said, your parents may not understand that, and they may be resentful towards you over that. You can't control that. All you can control is the way that you feel. Okay, so you have to focus on doing what's best for you. Your parents want what's best for you, but they don't always know what's best for you. That applies in this situation and every situation in life. Okay, so if you feel like college is not for you, if you don't want to go to college, don't go. And also, just because you don't go to college right away doesn't mean that you can't go in the future. Okay, you can go to college 10, 20, 30 years down the line. College will always be there. So will the podcast, but at the same time, if your inner calling is telling you to start that podcast, then you need to start that podcast. Because if you weren't capable of achieving that dream, the vision would not be there. And I need all of you to understand that. Okay, if you weren't capable of achieving that dream that you have deep within your mind, you would not have the dream in the first place. Plain and simple. If you can see it in your mind, you can experience it in your outer world. But it starts with you taking definitive action, getting into alignment with the version of yourself that is already where you want to be. If you were a successful podcaster or a successful YouTuber, how would you speak? How would you think? How would you act? What would you wear? Think about things like this and start to align yourself with that version of you, that ultimate version of you that is where you want to be. And once you do that, the action will take care of itself. Okay, the work ethic, all of that will take care of itself, and you will be a podcaster. You'll be a podcaster, and your parents will understand where you were coming from once you are able to move them to maybe a nicer neighborhood and just show them the different luxuries of life that they never got to experience. and that will be your way of repaying them for the sacrifices that they made for you. The next dilemma is from Fabian. I don't know if I said that right. How do you stay consistent? I'm having trouble with that. Well, Fabian, basically, just to build on what I said in the last dilemma, you have to align yourself with your highest version. Okay, so it starts with creating a mental image, a mental and emotional and spiritual image of what your ultimate version looks like. Now, understand that your ultimate version is completely dynamic. It will change as you grow. But at the same time, from where you stand right now, just develop a general sense of your best version. Okay, and think about what differentiates you right now, the person who typed this message, from your best version. The truth of the matter is that not much separates you at all. The only difference between you and that version of you, the highest version of you, is the decisions that you make. Okay, so you make different decisions by getting into alignment with that version of you. When you change the inside, your actions will follow. It's all about changing your mindset. Sometimes you can maybe start to implement actions and then your mindset follows, but in my opinion, it is much more efficient to work on the inside, to do the shadow work, and then let the actions follow suit after that. Now, from a more pragmatic standpoint, in the short term, prioritize the things that matter. Get a planner, okay? Getting a planner is one of the best investments that you could possibly make. Get you a planner and write down a list of everything that you need to do every single day. And when you write down those tasks, when you create that itinerary, you are making a promise to yourself that between the time that you wake up in the morning and the time that you go to sleep at night, you are going to complete every single one of those tasks. So when you start to do that over time, you build momentum, okay? And that changes the inside and the outside. It changes the inside in the sense that you build up authentic confidence from making promises to yourself and keeping them. And then it also changes the outside in the sense that you're taking definitive action every single day. And another great way to be consistent on your journey, I don't know what you're looking to be consistent with. It could be your business or school or self-development, whatever. But a general rule of thumb for consistency is to find your why, or as my friend Bryce Wilson likes to put it, your drive. Figure out your drive. What is driving you to want to be consistent at whatever it is that you're trying to be consistent at? Once you figure that out at the subconscious level, that will keep you motivated and disciplined throughout the entirety of your journey. That's not to say that you'll be perfect. Okay, you're not a machine, you're not a robot, but at the same time, you'll improve. You will improve at an exponential rate because you'll be moving with conviction. So not only will you be taking definitive action, but you'll be taking definitive action in the right direction, and your action will be much more efficient and effective. Okay, so for example, if you're trying to be consistent with YouTube and you know your why for doing YouTube and being consistent with YouTube, you're going to make better videos. Not only are you going to be consistent, but your videos will actually be better because you'll have more conviction when you make them, because you're doing it from a place of passion, of a genuine drive, a genuine desire for something greater. The next dilemma is from Liam. What's up, Jordan? I know I'm still pretty young, but I need to ask you about some things. I don't feel like I'm doing enough with my life at the moment. I'm wasting a lot of my time on YouTube, video games, and just things that don't matter. I started working out 1.5 years ago and have been attempting NoFap since last March, but I don't feel like any of my work is paying off. I want to walk the path instead of just knowing it exists. Can you help? Extra info. I'm religious and my main hobby is making music. Okay, first of all, I just want you to know that in spite of everything that I say about comparison, you are way ahead of where I was at 13. Okay, way ahead of where I was. Your self-awareness is absolutely astonishing to be 13 years old. Now, with that being said, be a kid. Okay, I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear. That's not what you were expecting me to say, but be a kid, bro. Be a kid, because you have to understand that right now, it feels like you're letting your life slip away from you. But if you're making memories and if you're really enjoying your childhood, then you're not wasting any time. Okay, once you turn 20, your childhood is over. It is gone for the rest of your life. Assuming you live to be 80 years old. Okay, assuming you live to be 80 years old, you will only spend 1/4 of your life as a child. Once you're an adult and you get that first bill, those bills do not stop coming. Okay, they hit you every single month. You don't have to worry about that, at least hopefully at the age of 13. Okay, now with that being said, you also have a great sense of direction compared to me at 13. I had no sense of direction. The fact that you have a hobby like making music lets me know that you're on the right track. Whether you choose to stick with music or not, you at least have something. You have some sense of conviction towards something, some sense of genuine passion, right? And when you figure out your passion and your gift and you find the intersection of those two things, that's when you find your purpose. Now, with you being 13 years old, I don't think your purpose should be your primary priority because, like I said, your purpose really is to be a kid. Your purpose is to be a kid. You're still developing. Okay, we're all still developing at any age, but 13, at 13, I hadn't even hit puberty yet. 13, you're a 7th or 8th grader. You are in middle school, bro. You're in middle school. Don't rush to be an adult. Don't rush to be an adult. Okay, you're working out, that's good. Doing nofap, that's good. Okay, continue to implement those practices. I would highly recommend doing things like journaling, especially at that age, and reading. Okay, reading and journaling are going to be two very, very potent practices for you to implement into your life if you want to get ahead. But don't get so caught up in self-development that you forget to enjoy your youth. That's not to say that self-development should not be enjoyable, but if it's stressing you out to the extent that you can't even enjoy things like watching YouTube and playing video games, things that a normal 13-year-old would do, then you might need to take a step back and just look at the big picture. Put things into perspective and remind yourself that I'm 13 years old and I have all the time in the world. Okay, you have all the time in the world at 13. So spend time with your friends. Spend a lot of time with your friends. If you don't really like the people that you hang out with, find a new group of people to hang out with. Okay, go and make friends that align with the things that interest you. Find other friends that are into music. Find other friends that are into working out, self-development in general, and spend as much time as you can around those friends.